Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to read to you a program called Tarot Your Love Story for September 2019. And this is for you coming from Cancer. So, first, let me give you my email address, which is andyhoro9. I'll reply to you. Now, the first card that I'm going to pull will be to do with your first 15 days of September. And it's got to do with a new romance. Should you find a new romance in the first 15 days, you coming from Cancer, how would that be? Very a deep-seated romance. It may be a very shallow one. So treat the romance not too seriously and just wait and see what happens. So don't be too expectant of things to happen. Take it easy. Now we will talk about an old romance. Should you be having an old romance? And let's see what the card says. Well, this is the card of judgment. It says trying to get out of an old romance is what all this is about in the first 15 days of September. You see how the person is trapped. And so, if you feel that you are being trapped, you'll have to find ways to release yourself. It's a card that says that even trying to get away would be a problem. So, in some areas, in some way, you seem to be trapped with an ongoing romance. So, I've given you this advice, and if you want to make a move to get out of it, be daring enough to get out of it. And now we will talk about your marriage areas, and let's see what the card says. Well, who wears the crown? Is a card like that. So, do you want to wear the crown? If you do, there will be problems. So, having heard this from me, why don't you just let your marriage partner take control in the first 15 days of September? Let your marriage partner make all the decisions. Of course, give your version of things, but don't be imposing. Otherwise, there can be problems in your marriage in a sense that there will be a clash of opinions or a clash of desires. So your marriage is that way. Let's go to the last 15 days of September. And let's see what the cards say for you. You coming from Cancer. Well, if you do find a new romance, it's going to be a very complicated one in this last 15 days of September. It's either a threesome, meaning that there's a third party, or it's either not being able to get along over some important decision. So if you find a new romance partner in the last 15 days of September, tell yourself, here comes a little bit of a bother. And you will need to be very flexible, and you cannot afford to be a person dominating. So if you're flexible enough, you'll find a solution. Okay. I'm just going to talk to you about your ongoing romance once more, because that card was a little bit, but the message is the same. Look at that. I pulled this card again now. So again, now it's a bit about decision making. So if you have an ongoing romance partner, tell yourself to be very flexible, to be very negotiable. Otherwise, there are going to be problems. Now, what about marriage in the last 15 days of September? Let's see what the card says. This is a card that says many issues are floating around, and that black moon is always a moon of past issues catching up with you. So the last thing you want to do is to bring up past issues in your marriage area. Or the last 15 days of marriage may become very gloomy and depressing. And these many issues, try to settle them one by one. Marriage is your partnership. So think of it as that. Don't want to just impose restrictions and impose decisions. Otherwise, it's going to be a last 15 days of marriage not very good for you. And now we will go to your lucky ages. There'll be some of you from Cancer who are going to be very, very lucky in romance, marriage, or anything like that for you coming from Cancer. Well, this is a card of movement with the new moon. So I'll have to say that if you happen to be the ages of 20 or 29 or 38 or 47 or 56 or 65, you're going to be one very lucky person. And even if you're of the ages of 74. So it's a card that says these people of these ages, whether in romance or marriage, are going to have a very beautiful month of September. And if you are not of these ages, then you may have to make a decision to see me for a 90-minute session, which will cost you USD 50 to know your next 7, 8, or 9 years. We'll talk about that later. Now, about your lucky colors. Well, from this card, I've got two alternatives, gray or brown, and I'm going to go for gray. That seems to be the outstanding color. So it's believed that if you wear plenty of gray, especially waist upwards, then you're going to be exceptionally getting the energy from some very good planets. So wear plenty of gray, you coming from Cancer, waist upwards, and you just find in the areas of romance and marriage, you will do very well. You'll have that added protection about you. And now we will go to direction energy. Let's see what the card says. Direction energy, because 9 planets are surrounding us, and when we look north, south, east, or west, we'll be facing a planet all the time. And from this card, I'm going to say that if you face southeast, you're going to be facing planets who are going to be very helpful, finding a romance, getting a good deal from the romance, being happy with the romance, or in your marriage, getting the fulfillment of being married. So try to face southeast and you get some very exceptional energy coming for you. And now, attachment. Who could you be attached to? Who could you be attracted to in the month of September? And this is a card of Capricorn. This is a card of Capricorn. So all the signs of Venus and Saturn and Uranus are all there with the sun position. And so, Capricorn. Somebody from Capricorn you could meet for a new romance or your ongoing romance. If that person is from Capricorn, it'll be very good news for you. So somebody from Capricorn is very interested in you, or is it you interested in somebody from Capricorn? An attachment can be formed in this month of September. Well, I want to talk to you about your 90 minutes with me, which will cost you USD 50 to know your next 7, 8, or 9 years based on your date of birth, your time of birth, looking at your palms. And I'll give you a lot of information from the universe, your lucky colors, your lucky days, your lucky gemstones. And I'll give you the information about your personal lucky lottery numbers. Your palms will show in the first place whether you've got such lottery luck or what we call hidden luck. And so this hidden luck will be shown in signs on your palms. And I will show you how to get into the supernatural side of you. Yes, we all have a supernatural in us. And for some things that we need to do, we need the supernatural energy, and I'll show you how to tap it. So send me that message, Andy Horo 9, ANDI HORO 9, the number 9 at gmail.com. And I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Until then, thank you and have a good month for your love story in the month of September. Thank you and goodbye.